Oh, hey everybody. It's a good your good friend Principessa. And Principessa today wants to talk about making a wool wigs. Like my beautiful hair. See? This is my beautiful hair here. So me and Jody, we're gonna make a wool wigs. Is that right, Jody? That's exactly right, Principessa. So yeah, everybody, we thought we'd make show you guys how to make hair like Principessa's hair. So what you're going to need is a cereal box or some sort of cardboard, and you're going to need it to be 28 centimeters long, and you're going to need to, that's going to make the hair, the template for the hair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start wrapping the wool around the cardboard. I'm going to take some yellow wool. You can use any color wool. You can use orange if you want, like a red-headed puppet or pink or any kind of any color you want. And you just wrap it around the box and however much you want. So if you want a nice thick hair, then you wrap it around a lot of loops. If you want just a thin hair, then you just do a couple loops. Was that your cell phone, Principessa? Yeah, but I'm gonna ignore it. All right. So yeah, that sounds good. You're gonna wrap around the wool around the box, and if you want a nice and bushy hair like mine, you're gonna wrap it around a lot of times. This is a good thing making these puppets, Jody. I know, Principessa. I've been making puppets a long time. Yeah, it shows. You do a good job. That takes a long time to wrap it, eh? Oh yeah. It's not too quickly to do it. You have to take your time. It takes time to wrap it, you know. But you'll get there. And again, the more you do it, the quicker it becomes. And if your cardboard is flexible, then you could always double it up or use a harder cardboard, like a cardboard box. You don't have to necessarily use a cereal box like I did. But when I made this video, that's all I had at hand at that point. So, and if you make a lot of puppets, then you can just keep the template, the hair template, and then you can just reuse it. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea, Jody. It's a fantastic idea, Principessa. So now you take off the wool, and you'll see it's a whole bunch of loops, and you're just going to set it aside. And then what are you going to do? I'm going to show you in a second. Okay, so if you see, we got our sewing machine there. I'm going to change the angle on the video so that you'll be able to see what I do on the sewing machine. But you see that little white piece of cloth? Yeah, I see it. Well, that's what we're going to use to sew the wool to. That's a cool sewing machine you got there, Jody. I know, Principessa, I know. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that little piece of cloth and I'm going to line it up in the sewing machine right under the foot. That's what that little metal piece is called, the foot. That's where the needle goes up and down through the foot. That sounds like it would hurt, only if it's not on a sewing machine. If it's on a sewing machine, it's good. So then I take all those little loops and I bunch them up together and I put them onto the foot and I make sure that the foot does not catch as I push it through. And then I put my foot on the pedal, and as you see, the needle goes up and down, and I sew it. And then I sew it right to the end, and then I hit the reverse button, and then I sew it backwards. And then I sew it back to the other end. And then I go forward one more time. And what that does, Principessa, that really sews down all those wools to that piece of cloth. Oh, that's a really cool. That's what it does. And then I cut off the excess thread and I check, make sure there's all the pieces are sewed on nice and good. And then I flip over the hair or the wool, and then you'll see that there's extra material. You just want to cut that off flush. Oh, that's a neat. Why you do that? Well, I do that, Principessa, because if you don't put a piece of material down on the sewing on the to sew on the wool on, it's not going to sew anything. It's just going to make a big ball of mess. So you have to, whenever you're sewing two things together, you have to have two materials. Oh, I understand. I understand. So what are you doing now? So now I'm taking the scissors and I'm cutting all the little loops on the ends like so. And make sure you get them all. You might have to go a couple times through there to make sure you get them all. And then you have a wig. Oh, that looks nice. Those look nice. I see you got a bushy one and a not a bushy one. Yeah, so it depends on how much wool you use. If you use a lot of wool, you'll get a really bushy wig. If you put just a little bit of wool, you'll get kind of a shaggy, a little skimpy wig. Oh, I get it. I get it. And if you make two wigs like that, then you can cross the one over the other and you can make the bangs so you can have little bangs on your puppet. That's really neat. That's really neat. Yeah. So this is one way if you have a sewing machine, this is one way you could make a wool hair or a wool wig and you can make it strong. And then see that those white pigtails? If to make a pigtails in the wool, you can just grab three sections of the wool and you just keep crisscrossing them over one over another, and then you can make little braids like what you have, Principessa. Oh yeah, I love my braids. They look beautiful. Yeah, they're beautiful. I like my braids. So yeah, so that's how you pretty much make a wool wig. And then if you want braids, you can just add the braids on. Yeah, those are pretty. See, I put the braids on my wig. Yep. So you're looking beautiful, Principessa. Oh, thank you, Jody. And thank you everybody for watching. Uh, we really, really appreciate it. That's a fantastic. Um, you guys are really awesome. And we really love all our fans. And thank you for watching. Okay, Principessa, I'll catch you on the next one. Okay, Jody.
Thank you for watching. This has been a Laugh Out Loud Puppets production.